If you've lost your gun rights, could you go to jail just for being near a gun? Thanks for liking and subscribing to our channel. The answer is yes. In Washington state, there is one primary way that a person can lose or forfeit their right to own firearms: by being convicted of a crime. Now, not all crimes qualify. There are misdemeanors, which are generally less serious crimes, and there are felonies that are more serious. If you are convicted, which means to be found guilty by a judge or a jury of any felony in Washington, you will forfeit your gun rights. Most misdemeanors do not result in loss of gun rights, but if you are convicted of certain misdemeanors, such as domestic violence assault in the 4th degree, or a second DUI conviction within 7 years of the first, you will forfeit your gun rights for those too. It's important to understand that the loss of gun rights is for life. The gun rights are never automatically restored to you, so if you choose to do nothing after you've lost your gun rights, you will never have them back. The law does allow a judge to restore your gun rights, but you're going to have to wait at minimum 3 years, and in many cases 5 years after you've completed all the conditions of your sentence. That means if you've got 5 years of probation, the clock won't begin to run on restoring your gun rights until after that 5 years is completed. It gets even more complicated than that, but it's enough for now to understand that it's a big deal, and we handle a fair amount of restoration petitions for our clients. But I also want to talk about the question that I led this video off with, which is, can you go to jail just for being near a gun? And you could. Here's how. Let's say that you have lost your gun rights from a previous conviction, and you go out with a friend one evening. You get in the passenger seat of his car, and as you're headed out for your evening, he tells you to check the glove box. You look, and inside your friend has a pistol there. You take it out to look at it, tell him how nice it is, and then put it back. No big deal. But then the worst happens. He's stopped by the police. In that scenario, you are in a very precarious position. If the police end up arresting your friend for DUI or an outstanding warrant, or for any other number of things, they may search the vehicle. Whether that is legal or not might not matter at that moment if you get arrested for your friend's gun. In Washington state is very protective of privacy, and generally a locked glove box would require a search warrant. But in this example, your friend's glove box was unlocked. Could the police pin the gun on you? You're sitting right next to it in the passenger seat, and you know about it from handling it earlier. So yes, you could be charged with unlawful possession of a firearm, a felony which carries with it the possibility of up to 10 years in prison. Whether or not you could be hit with this charge would depend on the facts of the case. If you didn't know the gun was there, that would be a defense to the charge. The law says you must knowingly possess the gun. But in that case, you might have to prove a negative, that you didn't know about something, which can be difficult to do. And the other side might argue that you must have known about the gun because you were in such close proximity to it. And if you touched the gun, your fingerprints might be on it, which could establish both your possession of the gun and your knowledge of it. In Washington state, we have a legal concept called constructive possession, which says even if you're not holding the gun at that exact moment, if you have dominion and control over it, you can be held accountable for possessing the gun. The jury or judge will be asking questions like, could you easily access the gun? If the glove box is locked and you don't have the key, there's no easy way for you to access it. This is why if you live with someone who is allowed to possess guns and you're not, the gun needs to be locked up in a safe that you don't have access to. So you can see that being convicted of anything which removes your gun rights is a big deal and can lead to further legal troubles down the road. That's why it's always a good idea to consult an experienced lawyer right away if you're facing criminal charges.